A foreigner can own a company in China and still not automatically have the right to work for it. This surprises many founders. They think, "It is my company. I registered it. I am the shareholder. I may even be the legal representative, so I should be able to work through it." But ownership, legal representation, and employment are related concepts. They are not the same legal question. The question is not only whether the founder owns the company. The question is whether the company can credibly employ that founder in China. The first check is company operation. A company usually needs real operation to support a foreign work status file. That does not mean the company must already be large, but it should have an operating story that makes sense. A registered address, business activity, bank preparation, tax setup, contracts or pipeline, accounting records, and a reason why the founder needs to be physically in China. A newly registered company with no activity may not be ready to support the founder immediately. The second check is the role. Founder is not always enough as a work status explanation. What will the person actually do? General manager, technical director, business development lead, operations manager, product lead. The role should connect to the company's business scope, client plan, and operational needs. If the role is vague, the employment story becomes weak. The third check is salary and payroll. Employment is not only a title, it usually creates records, contract, salary, payroll, individual income tax, social security, where applicable, and accounting treatment. If the company cannot support salary and payroll logic, the founder's status file may lack the evidence that an employment arrangement exists. The fourth check is tax consistency. If the founder says they are employed by the company, but the company's tax and payroll records do not support that story, the file may look thin. This is why early accounting and tax setup matter even before the company has significant revenue. The fifth check is address and office reality. The company address should not undermine the founder's work story. If the business claims active China operations but uses an address that cannot support banking, tax, or verification, the founder's personal status plan may be affected. The sixth check is timing after registration. Some founders want to register the company and immediately use it to sponsor their own work status. Sometimes the sequence can work, but only if the company file is ready enough. If the entity is too new, too empty, or too disconnected from a real operating plan, timing becomes the risk. The professional point is this: founder work status is an evidence problem, not only a title problem. The file needs to answer several questions. What does the company actually do? Why does it need this founder in China? What role will the founder perform? Can the company support salary, payroll, tax, office, contracts, and operating records? Does the founder's background match the role? A founder learns this the hard way. A foreign founder registers a WFOE. The license is issued, and the founder immediately wants the company to apply for their own work permit. But the company has no bank activity, no payroll setup, no real office evidence, no client contracts, and no clear role beyond founder. The founder owns the company, but the company cannot yet prove a stable employment arrangement. The issue is not that founders can never work through their own companies. The issue is timing and evidence. Can this company credibly employ this founder now? If the answer is not clear, the file may need operating records before it can support the personal status plan. The framework to save is Founder Status Check. 1. Operating company. Does the company have real activity or a credible operating setup? 2. Defined role. What job is the founder doing besides owning shares? 3. salary, and payroll. Can the company support an employment record? 4. Tax records. Do company and personal tax records support the story? 5. Timing after registration. Is the company ready now, or does it need an operating trail first? The main lesson: company ownership can be part of a long-term China plan. But the founder's personal work status still needs a company file that can stand on its own. One practical way to think about it is this. The founder has two files. One file proves ownership. The other file proves employment. The ownership file may show shares, legal representative information, and company registration. The employment file needs a role, contract logic, salary, tax, payroll, and business need. If those two files are confused, the founder may overestimate what the company can do immediately. If they are separated clearly, the founder can build the company record in the order the personal status plan will later require. This is also why timing matters. If the founder needs to move quickly, the company may not yet have enough operating history. If the founder can build the company first, the later status file may have stronger evidence. Neither path should be assumed automatically. The right sequence depends on how ready the company is, how urgent the founder's relocation is, and whether the business can support payroll, tax, and role evidence at the time of application. That timing judgment matters. What happens when tax, banking, payroll, and status systems do not sync? That gap is where companies become unusable.